Welcome to the Weekly Dog Sportsman Podcast Show. It's your boy back on Scott the Man Russian.
And I'm East selling the man Taylor Street.
And y'all know what this is, man. It's our Hoops Show. It's our Hoops via the Hardwire. Today we got a special guest, a real special guest for our Hard Hoops, because it's the Final Four. And it's my homie, man, T.knot from Illinois Fighting Illini. See, what up, Joe?
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, man. Know it's been a minute since I done jumped down on the spaceship, man. But it's perfect timing, man. When it's springtime, we got the Final Four jumping off, man. We got my Illini in the Final Four, man, for the first time in 21 years. So, not only Champagne, but obviously other participants in the Final Four, which we'll get into in a minute. Congratulations, man, to all those great programs. And, man, it's going up this weekend, man. So I'm geeked up, man.
I'm charged, T. I got some of that Kool-Aid. Hey. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we gotta take a cheers though. We gotta shoot cheers to the Final Four, man, for Illinois, for the Illini.
Illinois
for the Illini.
We got to. See, we had to kick it off with our toast. Cause like you say, Joe, it's been 21 years, T. Can you imagine that, Joe? We was in Champagne once upon a time. America. This how hard our roots go back. Y'all know T.knot. He the man on We On Fire Sports Podcast, the spot. He be giving y'all the recaps and tell y'all what's going on in that sports landscape. But y'all know T.knot the king of nerve. T.knot on boy, y'all don't know. He the king of nerve, Joe. T.knot, tell him, man. Tell him why we call you the king of nerve, Joe.
Man, well, first off, man, you know what I'm saying? Being from the Midwest, being from Chicago, man, we kind of had, obviously it's a basketball haven, but we got a disadvantage in Chicago, man. Obviously, snow in the wintertime, man, so, you can't get out there on the court, man. What's the next best thing? Go ahead, put your little rim up now. A lot of us, do the coat hanger joint, with the sock. I done jumped that off. I kicked that off. That was really the beginnings of it. But, Nerf, they made it sophisticated with the backboards, the nets, the softball, So, man, just using my imagination in the crib, man, and, going back to, aging myself a little bit, man, but going back to the 80s, man, was super freezing outside, man. Ain't no way you can play outside in the weather conditions. So I had to take it in the crib, man. So I done had plenty of wars with you, with E, a lot of other cats.
Gigolo, Black, you didn't bust everybody else on the block in that nerve hoop.
Hey man, ain't nothing like a tip dunk, man, off that nerve, man. A special kind of feeling, man. You get your little tip yam, man. Ain't nothing like that, man. You had some cats though. You had some cats, because there's rules to this. Yeah. You had some cats, you can't be heavy-handed, though.
Yeah, you gonna break them.
Take a little finesse with it, you know what I'm saying? Some cats you'll fight over, man, they want to get heavy-handed with you, know what I'm saying? Breaking the rim.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the rim. I got into it with God, and that nigga gonna break my nerve real, Joe. You get out, you know how it does when we saw it, Joe. Every room we had, cause we had that rim in that motherfucker. We do our stress shoot on the back of the door. We plotting and planning.
Playing 32.
All day. It's so funny. Even to this day, right now, man, in the garage, man, I got the hot shot in the garage, man. The 2 goals, similar to what you see, like David Buster or something like that, man. So, I still.
You still be stress shooting?
Yeah, exactly. We still bring up through. Now, my daughter not too happy about it because she's like, man, you shoot too good, man. That's kids for you, man. But like I said, man, ain't nothing like, with your guys, man. But yeah, sometimes you get, them heavy-headed cats come over there, don't know, the rules of the Nerf, man. So, and also, to improve your shooting on the real court. You get to a real court, fam. It helped your shooting. I actually seen it improve my game on a real basketball court, man. So shout out to Nerf, man.
Shout out to
Nerf, baby.
I think too, the founder of Nerf, or the guy who invented Nerf, was a former NFL kicker back in the early 1970s.
Oh, he invented the first Nerf ball.
He invented it, trademarked it. You know what I'm saying? While he was an active NFL player, so kicker. I can't remember what team he played for though, but yeah. So Nerf was invented by an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cold right there, Joe. Leave the T.knot, man. We on Fire Sports Podcast.
The spot.
Dropping them jewels, Joe. Y'all know we the sports almanac.
Hey, and speaking of trademark, before we get to the college though, but speaking of trademark, shout out to Caleb Williams for taking the Iceman. I don't care what y'all talking about. I know it ain't football season, but I gotta talk about this. Shout out for Caleb Williams for taking trademark in the Iceman. They talking about his Gervin's. That's his. That was back in the 70s. No, this is a new Iceman.
Hey, this our hoops. I don't know yet. I ain't know yet. I know this. Y'all good. Cassie Kool-Aid, Joe. I can't get Caleb Iceman name though, Joe. Like that.
Hold on, man. We talking about. Wait.
I don't care.
We talking about ice though, man. I mean, roll. Now I love me some Caleb, obviously. You know what I'm
It's two people that can have a name. It's two people that can have a name. That's all I'm saying. Y'all didn't say that was Superman. Both dudes got Superman. It's a lot of those type of situations. Now that it's Caleb Williams, they on that, man. I'm just saying that because it wasn't about all I'm saying is that he didn't make the name up. We made it for him, and everybody, all the media, trying to down his name again. But it's back to March Madness. I had to just throw it in there. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It's the trademark.
Yeah, we'll let you get off. You know, on the business aspect. Go ahead. You can wear that one because we fuck with the Bears right now.
Back to March Madness.
But Tito, man, you know, most of us don't know how cold he is when it comes to sports. So you know that we love to kick off the guests with a trivia question before we get into it, Joe. So, with it being the Illini, and you know what I'm saying, normally, you know, I cheat sometimes, but I already know, best with you, I ain't even really got to cheat. Sometimes I cheat, but guess what, best with you, I ain't even really got to cheat. I can just make sure all motherfuckers know, like, man, you about to be played when it comes to sports knowledge. So I got to say, Joe, Big T Illini, man.
Yes, sir.
Who was the name, what was the team? And what was the year that beat Illini the last time they was in the Final Four?
Man. First of all, you know what I'm saying, you bringing back bad memories, you know what I'm saying, but we got to go back to 2005, man. University of North Carolina, Lou Williams winning the national championship. I mean, you got Sean May, you got Raymond Felton, obviously you got Marvin Williams on that basketball club, and they were a good basketball team, great team, to the big to go to sports. You know what I mean? It just was one of those situations. Obviously, it's probably in this generation of Illini fans, probably the most notable Illini team. Obviously, you're talking about Luther Head, Darren Williams, D. Brown, Roger Powell Jr. You know what I'm saying? And so, just that team, man, just the style of play and how they play. And to be honest with you, I think that when you're in Illinois, you just obviously an Illinois basketball fan. You really don't understand just the nationwide impact of that team. But, just the, friends and people that I know that, kind of follow college basketball loosely. When they talk about Illinois basketball, that's the first team they mention. Now, my OGs, shout out to the Phillies, the old heads,
What about my Peoria crew? Let's get into it a little bit.
Yeah, what's up? Now, obviously, you got the old heads out there. I'll be remiss if I'm not going to talk about the 89 Illini team. Obviously, with Keith McGill, Kenny Bowdo, Stephen Bardo, the late great Lou Henson. I mean, that was, for me.
89?
Yeah, that's for me where the love, that 88, 89, shout out, Lord Hamilton,
Right.
In St. Mail, a lot of people don't know he's the number one player in the country, man, 1985. He becomes All-American. So the recruiting might have been, matter of fact, he might be the last McDonald's All-American to come out of Providence St. Mail, by the way. That might be another trivia question.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Drop the jewels for us.
We on Bias Sports Podcast.
So hold on. That's your favorite Illini team? Which one your favorite? Out of all the Illini teams that have made it to at least the Sweet 16. Or no, matter of fact, because this couple of my teams got put out in like the first, second round of the tournament. Tell me your favorite tournament. Give me your top 3 tournament.
Illini teams?
Yeah.
So
Illini teams.
Obviously, you got to go with 89. 89 without question. Because the reason I mentioned 89 is what a lot of people don't know is that 89 team, the Flying Illini, they were kind of like the table setter for the 90 UNLV team. You know what I'm saying? I even heard Jalen Rose, obviously with the Fab Five. Jalen Rose from Detroit, he was rooting for Illinois in that Final Four, which obviously they even lost to Michigan in the Final Four, in the Final Four game in 1989. But like that team and that style of play inspired a lot of dudes from across the country just with that fast-paced, high-flying, dunking on, Kenny Powell dunking dudes backwards. Yeah. So definitely got to go 89, one of those spots.
Showtime 89, huh? It's like it was out there.
No doubt.
All right, what about what's your number 2 team?
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2 obviously is 2005. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just what they were able to do. Just the electricity. Shooting the cover off the basketball. Obviously you got D Brown. Shout out to Vago East. McDonald's All American. Yeah. Coming down. Darren Williams.
Right.
Coming up. Yeah, D. Will, Illinois really won his first
monster.
Chance. He trying to get up there line. They weren't rocking with him. So, obviously he was a Bill Self recruit. A lot of people think that Bruce Weber recruited those guys, but really was Bill Self was the one that recruited them. Shout out to the head, obviously representing the Red Western man.
Ooh, the head.
And just, what they were able to do that season, I remember, them beating Wake Forest. Wake Forest was number 1 in the country coming down to Champaign early part of the year. Chris Paul was on that team, and they told Wake Forest was straight. I'm talking about straight only piece.
Augustine, Reverend Powell.
Augustine, obviously Roger Powell. So great team there. I would say probably the 3rd favorite team.
Yeah, who number 3? Who your number 3 favorite Illinois team?
That's kind of tough. The only reason I say that is because obviously the success of the Illini kind of. If you kind of go back, say, 20 plus years, we've had some highs and we've had some lows with the program.
Right.
But I'll just, for argument's sake, probably, the stretch, the team 2 years ago that went to the Elite Eight, that lost to, University of Connecticut 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That team right there.
Yeah.
That team has a special place for me because to me that represented Brad Underwood and just his ability to recruit. And recruit pros. I mean, think about it. We got Terry Jr.
That was the year that UConn beat them.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, in the regional final. In the Elite Eight. UConn went on that infamous, basically 30-0 run, lead to the beginning of the second half.
Crazy.
I mean, the game was pretty much over. And that was really kind of that was Connecticut's the second championship year for Connecticut. They repeated obviously. So it was the second installment. So that was probably my favorite 3 Illini teams, but we've had some good ones over the years.
Honorable mention, I just knew that she was going to say that Serge McClain, Frankie Williams, that was our era down there. Like, Frank Williams, we ain't going to shout out our guys.
No doubt. Now, I'm going to get into that. That was going to be my honorable mention. The only reason why, though, is just simply based on the fact is that they didn't go far in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the theme for me. You know what I'm saying? Which they ended up, if I'm mistaken, Mac, I think in 2000, 2001, I think it was 2001, they actually made it to the Elite Eight. You know what I'm saying? They lost to Arizona, which Arizona had Gilbert Arenas, my man Gardner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The regional final, that Arizona team that went on to lose to Duke in the national championship with Jason Williams and Carlos Booth and all of that.
Right.
So, I didn't want to leave them off. It's kind of hard to leave them off. But, I think for me, we had high expectations, obviously, and just, being down there during that particular time, bumping shoulders with them, coming about. But, we had high expectations. Shout out to my man Griffin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Griffin. We had some dogs that year, boy. That was our year.
I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Serge McClain, all the Peoria guys, they won state and shit. But go ahead, what you got? Go ahead.
I'm kind of disappointed in you because I thought your honorable mention or even your third one would have been this year right here, what we doing right now. We already in the Final Four.
But that's too determined, though.
But I'm saying just based on how far we made it already, we in the Final Four. Teams that you talked about, they made it to the Elite Eight. And this is still Underwood squad. We in the Final Four. Like, we in this the now. So that's why I'm kind of disappointed in you. because that's what we got to lead to anyway. So I feel bad. I feel bad. That's all, Chaz. I feel bad, man.
I'm a little superstitious too. That's the reason why I left this current team off the list, because it's unfinished business for this ball club. You know, and obviously we'll get into it in a second, but it's unfinished business with this ball club. And obviously they got the ability to be number one on the list. And I mean, you bring a national championship home, you know, obviously, you know, it's been what, 5, Final Fours, I believe, Illinois has been to. No national championships. We got the second most tournament wins in the history of the tournament without winning a national championship, by the way.
Wow.
So it's really, you know, for me, I'm kind of superstitious in that. I feel, you know, I'm a little superstitious because it's unfinished business, but obviously if this team able to cut down the nets, you know, next Monday night, yeah, they leapfrog to the best line team probably in the history of the program.
So this it then. We in there then. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
So do Illini got the horses to bring it home. So we gambling. So let me know, man. Should I be taking Illini to win it all? T, like, how you feel about Illini and their chances? Do they got the players to do it?
Well, you know, man, me and, you know, Mr. Eastside Lane, Mr. Taylor Street, you know, we had, you know, off the record, off wax, you know what I mean, conversation just in regards of it. You know, I think the most impressive thing about this team, man, is that when you look at the metrics of this ball club, man, it's just a lot of stuff that stand out. One, don't turn over the ball crazy. Don't foul you. One of the best rebounding teams in the country, the tallest, team, in the country. And they're able to beat you without shooting the ball well. You know, obviously,
right.
we're in a situation now with college basketball, and just basketball as a whole. The teams shoot 800 threes. But the thing that I was impressed by this team, especially during this tournament run over the last couple of games, is that defensively, because that was always really, to me, the Achilles heel of this team all season long. That we knew the offense was a top 2, top 3 offense all season long. Were they able to get stops? And I'll never forget.
You don't think they soft? Go ahead though.
I was just going to go there.
Okay, go ahead.
Shout out the friend of the show, man. My man AD. Shout out AD, friend of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, AD had an off-backs conversation.
Oh yeah.
I told
love AD. love you, AD.
Yeah, AD was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? This team, he thought they was a little soft because of Euro guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, college basketball has kind of changed a little bit. This is not the 90s where you got to deal with Chris Webbers of the world and Kristen Leitners of the world and more post-Leighton type of guys. The game is kind of spread it out a little bit.
Okay.
And to me, I just think that Brad Underwood, first and foremost, he's done an outstanding job with the recruitment. And I just think that this ball club is so balanced. So to go back to your original question, and yeah, I believe they absolutely have an opportunity to cut down the nets. This is why I predicted to win the championship before the tournament began. I know a lot of people try to kill me on the homer tip. But I just love just the balance of this team. Stovakovic, playing downhill. Shout out Boswell, man. Just a blue guy extraordinaire. Shout out to, the brothers. I call them the brothers. Just with that size. And obviously Keith Walker, one of the best players, one of the best freshmen in the country, man. The guy plays with such pace.
Right.
And has to do it any night to go out there and put up a 40-piece as he did at Purdue. Or he can have that great floor game where he can give you 15 to 20 points. Don't turn the ball over and play within the team concept. So absolutely, man, I think this team, and we got unfinished business with UConn. They beat us early this season.
Right.
Get back.
We gotta get out and get back.
So we want all the smoke in regards to that. Obviously, on the other side, you got Michigan and Arizona. I'd be remiss not to mention them. They're definitely going to play at a high level during the tournament all season long. But I just think that at the end of the day, especially when Illinois turned themselves into a defensive team in a certain respect, and able to win ball games playing in the 60s, to me, the sky's the limit for this ball club.
Okay.
Well, Illinois, they lead they 83 points a game now, you know what I'm saying, for offensively, and then defensively, like you were saying, they lead in NCAA under, 60 points a game. So that's perfect, man. So that's a great hit right there. And we got a lot of Lindenbergs, man. I want it to be a Big Ten showdown, Illinois versus Michigan. But we do got to get past, hurling these guys first, Right. Got to get past them because they beat us the last 2 times, this year too. So, everybody want to play, but it doesn't matter.
Who you feel like our biggest competition is? The team that we finna play right now?
Man, it's a competition now because we owe them. They beat us. The last time we was undefeated, they beat us in the Elite 8. You know what I'm saying? And then what we thought it was a 30 piece on us, 30 straight points.
Right.
That's crazy. And so it got to be them, you know, because he owned him. He owned Underwood. Even though Underwood, as good as Underwood is on the recruiting mode, we're talking about her.
Why they say he owned him though? How many times have he beat him? He beat him more than 5 times.
He beat him.
So you just beat a person 2 times, you own them now. That's the language they use. I don't like that.
Well,
like he lost to a guy 2 times.
When it comes to Illinois,
in basketball, you know what I mean? That's wild. I wouldn't say that he owned them. Now Hurley gonna make history though. They got the opportunity to be like, all right, 3 out of 4 years in college. They on some girl UConn. I ain't seen no shit like this since the girls in UConn. You know what I mean? But
well, let's avoid owning him then. He needs to avoid Hurley owning him because after this, if he lose him this time, that'll be 3 times now. We're talking. You know what I'm saying? It lasts in the recent. And when it's to the Final Four, so we don't want that problem. I'm saying that's what people are saying. I ain't saying he owned him like that, but he has the opportunity to make his run. This dude, he's a legend. We're talking Hurley that's trying to get 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
so that's why this is our toughest battle right here. I think when we get past this, we don't got to worry about nobody else because UConn won 6 titles. Everybody else only won like 1. Well, Michigan won 1. The other, Arizona 0. Or 1 we 0, something like that. Yeah. But Michigan, UConn is the team that we got to worry about. These other guys ain't won nothing.
Right. We lost to Michigan though. Like we lost to Michigan.
We'll be ready.
We were soft. And I didn't like how we looked against Michigan. So I don't know, Joe. I'm not sold that even if we beat UConn, like it's gonna be a cakewalk that next matchup. I don't know how you feel about that, T. Who would you rather not see in the next round? Like who you want to win between Michigan and Arizona? And who you think got the best chance of winning between Michigan and Arizona? And do you think it's gonna be a good matchup for the Illini?
Well, just going to, the other side of the bracket, obviously, that's going to be a heavyweight fight. Talking about Arizona and Michigan. That's going to be a heavyweight fight, man. I mean, just, big boy basketball. I just think that between those 2 teams is really about who don't really make the mistakes, meaning the turn of the basketball and who shoots the ball better. I mean, that's basically a coin flip. I mean, it's going to be, to me, just one of those, that's one of those old school,
They kind of the same team, like almost.
I think Michigan a little bit got more edgy. I looked at Arizona squad. To me, they ain't really. They
the best defensive team in the league.
They had little problems with. They had a couple little problems with the last squad that was bothering them. When they start getting to that nitty gritty, they ain't seen Big Ten yet. You know what I'm saying, like that. And I feel like Lindenberg not too crazy. That 7'3" dude. And the guys that got around, they too deep. Michigan deep. They going, they playing like 10 marks. Like, hey, out there. And they all just hustling. You know what I'm saying? So
you taking Michigan hands
down?
down?
I'm definitely taking Michigan hands down.
So your parlay, Big Ten parlay, Michigan, Illinois is Big Ten, good Big Ten.
That's what I had when I first did my brackets. I had Michigan versus, Illinois. And Illinois winning it all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It has to happen for me. It's lining up the same way it did in 2005. Going back to that, so everybody can be superstitious. But, it was my birthday that time. My birthday is another round of Final Four, you know what I'm saying? This ain't March Madness no more. It's April now. April Sadness it could be. Last time it was April Sadness on my birthday, 2005, right. April 4th.
March Madness,
Illinois versus North Carolina. And my brother came out there to visit. We were in the A at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, great party, we was kicking it hard. Great game. We was up. Dan Williams was killing. Everything looking good. Then that May thing happened. I'll never forget this day. But
what happened, Joe? What happened with May? Tell us what happened with May, Joe.
Look, man, I ain't trying to go all into detail. The whole point I'm trying to make is that was a terrible day, and I'm not trying to have it happen this time because April 4th, it's the Final Four against UConn. And so that's why I'm confident right now because that's my day. Me, that's at Big Money Cafe. You know what I'm saying? Come and watch the game with your boy right here.
Yeah.
You know that's why UConn gonna win. Valley gonna be there.
That's why who gonna win?
Not UConn gonna lose. That's why gonna Charles, it has to happen, man. That's what I'm talking about, man, because it ain't about anything else. And I just feel like, Illinois got the better team with all the Euro niggas.
Yeah. They talk about it like Negroes. Like one more time. I got one more thing, Joe. Like,
yes, sir.
We got a few more minutes. I want to talk about it's just what E just kind of segued to. They talk about this team Illinois got, like the the strategy that they went with this recruiting class, while bringing in seasoned overseas veterans, and they saying that like this could change the NIL era of college basketball, the basketball landscape. Some people agree with what it is. Some people disagree with what it is. What's going on? How you feel about these older players and this style of recruitment with what Illinois got going on with the overseas pros?
Well, I mean, you got to tip your cap to the Brad Underwood, meaning that, you in college, especially in college basketball, I mean, you flipping your roster literally every single year. And he's done a great job of just watching the landscape. Because, he tried to go after, some of what you call traditional McDonald's All-Americans. But obviously, you got name, image, and likeness out there. And I think just as a whole, name, image, and likeness for me is kind of opened up the landscape. Yeah, it's kind of killed some of the mid-majors to a certain respect, but it's opened up the landscape. But I think that Brad has been creative in that because we all know, you saw this with John Calipari at Kentucky. At some point, when you bring in McDonald's All-Americans, you literally losing them every single season because of the one and done era.
Right.
You got to be creative. And for me, I would rather have a overseas guy that has professional experience versus a 25-year-old dude that has been to 5 colleges. 5 universities.
Right.
At least, especially from just a European standpoint.
Yes.
These guys, they come over and you know what you get out of these guys. They're not going to be a distraction. They're not going to be a guy because they're so far away from home that you got to worry about, just being a distraction with your program, trying to get up out of there in the next, the next train out of Champaign.
Right.
And so, they play, basketball what I consider the right way. You ain't got guys going out there trying to, shoot the ball 30 times, dudes out there who trying to gun, dudes out there who just worry solely just on their draft position. I mean, think about this for a second, and I'll wrap it with this. I mean, you look at Rutgers last season. Yeah. You had 2 basically top 10 picks. With Harper and Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
Didn't even make the NCAA tournament.
Crazy.
And so Brad has done a great job, and I think it comes with his experience of being a coach. This ain't Brad's first rodeo. I mean, he's a lifer as a head coach.
It's a lifer.
And just understanding the landscape, and I think the most important thing, especially with Illinois basketball, is he has built a solid culture in Champaign. And that was something, his predecessor, John Roach, that was something that we didn't have. So to me, it's kind of like night and day just in that respect. So I'm actually loving it. Next season, it might be a different swag. Next season, it might be, him just getting what you call McDonald's All-Americans and that team be kind of formulated like that, similar to kind of how Duke operates a little bit. Or some of the little blue bloods. So, but I think Brad has done a great job, man, of just working, and shout out to Tyler Underwood. I got to give him some respect too. His son, the assistant coach,
right?
He's been the guy that has actually, brought in, Keith Wadlers and recruit guys such as that. And so, them as a tandem, I'm loving what they're doing with that.
Man, that's
facts, man. Man. Hey, as y'all can see, we on Fire Sports Podcast, the spot, my man. T.knot right here. You see how the Jose give me. He's telling y'all, he preaching y'all what's going on, and give me y'all intel. Man, we got an Illinois coach that's from Illinois, Joe. I was in West Illinois. He did a lot, already. So our foundation is good. Illinois gonna be good for more than just this year.
All right, T. Tell the people where they can find you at, bro.
Man, we on Fire the spot. Man, boy, it's been 5 long seasons, man. Hitting y'all with that sauce, man. Covering all across the whole sporting landscape. Obviously this is March Madness, man, so definitely hyped up, geeked up, man. Got an episode coming down the pipeline later on this week. You can catch me, man, on YouTube. We on Fire Sports Podcast, also too on Twitter, also too on all podcasts could be listening to, man. And like I said, it's a spot. So it's one of those, man, bring your bag, bring your BYOB, man, go ahead and pull up, man. We're going to hit you with some sauce, man. We're going to dive deep into everything that's going on across the sport landscape, man. So I definitely appreciate you boys, man. Obviously, you can check these gentlemen out. They fall through, on the up and up, showing that love and showing that support, man. So appreciate y'all, man.
We love you, T, on this side of things, man. Keep dropping that knowledge, Joe. Go Illinois, all that, ILL. You know what I'm saying?
Get him, UConn. Watch out, UConn. Watch out.
Big old I in the building.
He gave me the breakdown on how
Green Street, no doubt.
Yeah, Green Street, no doubt. I ain't been on Green Street in a million years. But when I used to hang on Green Street, it was lit. I had best time of my life out there. T.knot, the king of Nerf, Joe. Y'all know what it is.
I definitely gotta thank you too, Joe, because now you make me feel way better about Illinois game. You just gave me a great rundown, a brief down on how we gonna actually execute this. You know what? So man, I gotta appreciate that. Appreciate all that knowledge.
Yeah.
I can't gamble Illinois because it's Illinois team, but hey. We'll watch the game real good.
There's a couple of sites you can gamble on. Y'all might want to check the spots, but y'all know what it is, man. Big old eye in the building, T.knot, man.
Let's go.
Love you, Joe. Straight up.
And I got the piggyback off E. I got Illinois and Michigan moving on to the national championship game next Monday night. I got the final lineup, man, cutting down the next man.
Hey, let's go.
School history.
First national natty this weekend on E birthday weekend. Illinois gonna do it, man. Y'all know what it is. We'll be back next segment of the Weekly Dog Sports Bet Podcast. I'm back.